Well, we're back at George's. We got the tail cone, made it to the cage. It was a definite check twice, check 3, check 4, check 5 times, measure 100 times, and then drill once for each rivet. And we did the parallel horizontal from back there up to the firewall, and everything was literally within 0 degrees on multiple measuring points. So congrats to George, you got it dead bald. And then we ended up we did this last time actually. We transfer drilled all these to get them situated to where they go. Then the question we had was underneath here. Seems to be a lot of confusion on where these doublers and longerons sit in relation to the tab here that's welded on. So these tabs are not 100%, well, they are straight, but they actually need to be angled because the tail cone obviously chamfers in. But we decided to put the doubler between the tab and the outside longeron there, or wherever the bottom skin comes up. And that worked best for us. We did some research online, talked to a bunch of people, and kind of came up with that. George also made these spacers here, and these spacers are gonna go between these tabs and the outside skin, because the extra spacer here, if you put that in, it bows out a little bit. Now the reality is, if you're looking at it from 6 inches away, yes, you notice it. Once the plane's complete, you'll probably never notice it. But because we have a little spacer up here from this longeron, it will just make everything go much better. So what do we need to use? Bigger, longer rivets to go through there?
Longer rivets.
Okay. Okay, we'll get to that point. So today's mission is we're gonna flip this thing over. Are we flipping it 180 degrees on its roof or on its side?
I was thinking like on
because we do it, because then we just got to make sure that we have a support here. On this seems to be the only sturdy part. Well, actually, no. I suppose we could.
No, we're gonna put it across one of these sections since all horses.
Oh, gotcha. All right. Sorry, I wasn't listening. I heard it, but it didn't sink in. I was filing these little tabs here. All right, so that's what we're gonna do once George clamps on those longerons there. Alright, so we ended up not flipping the entire structure over, but instead what we did is we moved it off the table this way to drill this side, and then did the same thing on the other side. Basically just moved it off, and we got them all match drilled. As you can see inside there, got all that lined up. And again, for those wondering, we ended up putting it in that order. I'm kind of just being particular about that because we searched for this quite a bit, and the instructions and the videos online are contradicting. Right now, George is drilling the top longerons in there. Huh? Middle one, sorry, my bad. And we decided to just move this out a little bit because we notched a little bit out of here to fit this gusset little flap welded thing, just so they sit flush. So making progress. After this George is gonna level the whole plane again, just make sure it's 100% because we shifted all of these little shims around. And what's next, George?
We just gotta do some spacer strips.
Yeah.
And then now, while we have like everything open, we're gonna do I think the pulleys. I gotta redo those.
Oh yeah, the pulleys and the.
Run the wire while we have this all open.
Gotcha. Yeah. So we have the magnetometer mounted back there, and unless we decide otherwise, I think we're gonna run the wire inside this little area. We'll leave a little bit of a service loop so you can access it later on through that. And the only other wire to go into the tail is the trim tab servo. I don't think we're doing a tail beacon. I did order a bunch of 20 gauge wire, so maybe we'll run a wire back there in case we decide to do it later. And yeah, I think that's it.